Which would you prefer? I love you very much, or my heart is filled with so much love, it aches so beautifully every time I think of you. The first was just some generic words, and the second was the beginning of a beautiful love letter. What makes that beautiful love letter? To me, two things must be true. One, it is real, it is raw, and it is deep. The words are unfiltered, they're unapologetic, you are unafraid. It comes from that voice inside you that just refuses to be silenced. That kind of urgency. The second, it must give you an emotional jolt. It doesn't matter whether it's joy or sorrow or hope or despair. Your emotions must move. Just like when I said, my heart is filled with so much love, it aches so beautifully. Some of you smiled and some of you probably rolled your eyes, which is fine, because I know that response came from an emotional trigger. The emotions are usually palpable, they're not subtle. You feel it in your chest or in your throat or sometimes in the dampening of your eyes. Now, when the words are so honest and so emotionally charged, they don't just hit the intended recipient. They can hit anyone, everyone, at any time. Billet doux, the beautiful love letter. It never expires. It never goes unread. It always finds a heart to land on. Now, having said that, I think the most powerful letters are the ones written that are not meant to be sent. Because the unsent letter holds nothing back. You don't worry about how it's going to be received. You don't worry about how someone's going to respond when you get it. It doesn't try to soften the blow. You're not trying to impress. You just need to say it. Think about it. A lot of us journal. We journal because we want to get deep into our hearts and our minds. We want to understand the complexities of our cognition and our emotion. Yet, when we are writing in absolute privacy, I dare say we struggle to be absolutely honest. Now, just imagine if someone was hovering around when you were journaling. You would definitely censor yourself. You would definitely filter. It's ironic, even though we're desperate to tell the truth, we are terrified of what the truth can cost us. I think so many things that need to be said or need to be written remain secrets. Secrets that we hold deep inside us. Now, as a counseling psychologist for 25, almost 30 years now, I have sat in front of hundreds of people, different ages, different lifestyles, and definitely different struggles. In this line of work, we become keepers of a lot. People share things very deep in their hearts, in their minds, and in their souls. All of us in the helping profession, we don't just carry private stories. We carry secrets. Now, at this point, I want to make a clear distinction between privacy and secrecy. Privacy is when you choose not to share some information. Secrecy is when you take active steps to make sure nobody finds out that information. Privacy protects and kind of protects your ego more than anything else, but secrecy hides. It hides a version of you. And when secrets are revealed, it feels like a betrayal. Now, no one walks into a therapy room and says, hey, I have a secret. I want to tell you a secret. It doesn't work like that. Clients come in with all kinds of presenting problems. Some come in because they're feeling very low, they have some depressive symptoms. Others come in because they are overthinking, there's generalized anxiety. Couples come in because there's a breakdown in communication, they're not meeting each other's expectations. Many corporate people come in because they have some degree of burnout. They are just normal, everyday humans like you and I, but something is telling them they're not being the best version of themselves. They may be stuck, may be confused or conflicted, and they can't figure out why. It's only after a few sessions, and sometimes many sessions, when the rapport has developed, the trust has built, and most importantly, the defenses have softened. It's only then that we can dig a bit deeper and explore some of the underlying issues. Sometimes it's a secret. It's a secret that they have been carrying with them. Secrets such as unspoken love, being in love with someone but not being able to develop a relationship, and in turn not allowing themselves to develop other healthy romantic relationships. Secrets such as regrets. So many people regret many decisions that they made, whether it's career or life partner or investments. And many of these regrets are made when they were young, naive, and just didn't know any better. Secrets that many highly successful people have. A chronic fear of not being good enough. A fear of failure. What we call imposter syndrome. Secrets that so many people were just not courageous enough to share, such as sexual orientation or gender identity. Now don't forget, your generation has changed that, and I thank you for that. But everybody before, your parents' generation, my generation, we had to live with that secret pretty much your whole life. And that would have shaped us detrimentally in many ways. Right now, some of you will be thinking, I don't have any secrets. My life is an open book. I share everything. My friends know everything about me. And some of you will be thinking, oh my God, how does she know? I have so many secrets. My life is shrouded. I hide so much of myself. Well, research shows that most adults hold somewhere between 3 and 7 secrets, not just passing ideas, not just random thoughts, but real, hidden from other people type of secrets. And many of these secrets are carried for their life. Some of the biggest secrets are lies that we tell ourselves. For example, I don't care what people think of me lah. But the truth is, there are many nights I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, paralyzed with the fear of what people may think of me, what people may have said about me, may have criticized or judged me, or think less of me. Another common one that I hear very much in my practice. I forgive my parents for the neglect or the indifference or the emotional blackmail and the guilt tripping or the hurtful things, the verbal abuse, even physical abuse. But the truth is, I still carry every scar, so much pain, so much resentment, frustration, and maybe even hatred. So let me ask you. Think of something that you have kept in your mind, that you have taken pains from making sure that other people don't find out. Is it time to start drafting your love letter? What is your secret? Because, you know what? We all have one. Now, the burden of secrecy is not in the secret itself. The burden of secrecy is in the thinking. It's the thinking that wears us down. How much space it's taking up in your head. How preoccupied you are with it. Because secrets don't just sit quietly. They fester, they grow, they become anxiety. Your thoughts become irrational, unreasonable, sometimes even illogical. So keeping a secret is not just not telling. Keeping a secret is monitoring your words, revisiting it mentally, avoiding certain people, avoiding certain topics, watching yourself constantly, and therefore never fully relaxing into your true and authentic self. Each time you go through this, you withdraw a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. And over time, you find yourself pretty isolated. Even though you may be with people, you don't feel a sense of belonging, because there's so much of you that you're hiding. In a world that is battling a loneliness epidemic, I wonder whether that filtered and guarded version of us that we put forward, isn't that what's contributing to it? Now, over time, this burden of secrecy affects us in the three most important facets of our lives. Psychologically, as I said, it weighs down. We worry, we ruminate, we obsess. Our self-perception gets distorted. Our mental energy gets wasted. Physiologically, the body keeps score. Even though the mind might be trying to suppress it, emotional distress shows up in your body. Headaches, pain, gastric, irritable bowel, the list goes on. But most importantly, it affects our relationships. What are we all looking for? We are looking for meaningful, valuable relationships, whether they are platonic or romantic. What's the most important criteria to attain meaningful and valuable relationships? Open and honest conversation, communication. Now, if you're monitoring yourself, if you're watching yourself, if you're avoiding certain topics, how open and honest can you be? If you're not allowing some vulnerability, how open and honest can you be? If you fear being exposed, you will avoid closeness. You will avoid connection. What kind of meaningful and valuable relationship are you going to get? Aren't you sabotaging the one thing that we are all looking for? Now, why? Why do we keep secrets? At the root of it, there are three core emotions. Shame, because you think you are not worthy, you're bad. Guilt, because you cannot understand how you did something or why you may have behaved in a certain way. And fear. Fear that if people found out, you would be ostracized and judged and unaccepted. You know, like little splinters that get under your skin, it hurts. But you can only heal once that splinter is out. Healing doesn't come from pretending to be fine, and that's something we are all such expert at, aren't we? I'm fine, I'm good, nothing bothers me. Healing comes from connection. Healing comes from truly being seen in places that make you most vulnerable. Now, healing, you're not healing from the secret. You're not healing from the content of the secret. You are healing, you're looking to heal from the consequence of holding that secret, the shame, the guilt, and the fear. Which now brings us back to how we in the helping profession can lend support. Therapy is not about giving advice or solving your problem. Yes, sure, we may throw in some advice, we may suggest some solutions, but therapy is really about compassionate witnessing. It is about creating a space where your truth can exist without interruption, without judgment, and without fear. This is where your healing starts. I'm not telling you tell everything to everyone, but what I am saying is some things need to be told to someone. Choose your someone. So let me invite you inward. What is something that you have kept hidden? Sometimes maybe even hidden from yourself. What is something that you think makes you not worthy of love or respect? Now, these questions are not here to expose you. They are here to liberate you. And I want you to turn the question around. It's not what's wrong with me. It's what truth deserves a voice. And what if we gave it one? So in conclusion, let me give you a simple 3-step practice. 1, draft your love letter. You know, the raw, the real, the deep one. And the only emotion I want you to have is relief, like a weight taken off your shoulders. 2, bring it to therapy and let your therapist guide you through the process. As I said, we want to resolve the shame, guilt, and fear. But before that, we might need to deal with all the anger and the resentment and the disappointment that has entangled itself. And finally, burn it, shred it, destroy it. Let it go. My name is Sharan Kaur. I'm a wife to a wonderful man, a mom to 2 amazing people, a grandma to my darling Dee, and I'm also a counselor. With that, I thank you.